Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel, I bring you the most valuable forex content. My focus is to bring you free content that you're most likely to pay for from any mentor. So if you are new to this YouTube channel, please like and subscribe and also hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload a new video. Okay, let's get into it. So you are struggling with understanding what is a change of character and what is a flip. Some people call it supply and demand flip, but we're just gonna go ahead and do all of them, the supply and also the demand flip. First, let's start with the CHoCH. Let's understand what a CHoCH is. There's nothing fancy about a CHoCH. CHoCH is when the market gives us a signal that it's about to change its structure, it's about to change the trend. So let's just name it change of character, as some would call it a CHoCH. Okay, let's put that here. Now let's talk about what a CHoCH is. Let's say the market is in an uptrend. It's creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Now we see the market break the highest low to the downside. Now it goes back up and it fails to break the higher high. It makes a higher low and then it continues to make a lower low. Now here we're gonna have our break of structure. Nope, here we're gonna have our break of structure. This is our break of structure. You can go ahead and name that. That's our break of structure. That's our break of structure. Now the market pushed up, took out this high, and then it created a higher high, and then the market started shooting down, and then it took out this lower low. Now this here is a CHoCH. It's a change of character. That's a change of character, and some people prefer when when this becomes a CHoCH here, they also change the labeling on this one and say this is also a CHoCH. Now we'll get into that, why some people also call this a CHoCH. They name it on both sides. Now if it's a CHoCH, it simply shows that okay, the market here is now changing direction, and then the trend is starting to be a downward trend, and what we would expect the market after making a CHoCH is to go back to the demand zone and then start pushing downwards. So we expect the market to come here to the supply here, create a little bit of structure there, and then hit the demand and then start pushing down and continue creating break off structures. Expect the market to continue creating break off structure. So we're gonna go into the charts and then we are going to try to find examples of a CHoCH. But before we go ahead to the charts, now let's talk about a supply and demand flip, the difference between a supply and a demand flip. Now let's go like this. Now let's say let's write it. Now we're gonna be talking about what? The flip, either the supply or the demand. Let's do it like that. Let's talk about the flip. Now here, let's say the market is also in an uptrend. The market is going up, creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Now we see something like this, and then the market just stops there, and then instead of taking the high, creating a higher high, the market pushes to a certain percentage of the previous range, and then it shoots downwards, create something like this. Now this is not a CHoCH, this is not a CHoCH, this is not a CHoCH. It's going to be a CHoCH when the market continues going down. Now it's a CHoCH because the market took the previous low. Remember, for it to be a change of character, the market must take out the previous low which created the high. So this low over here created this high. Now this over here would be a break of structure, obviously to the upside, and then also this part over here remains to be the break of structure to the upside, and then here would have a change of character. That would be our change of character. But since this is our change of character, well, we can also get and change this and start naming it as a change of character. As I've said, some people prefer to label the upper part and also the lower part of it. So this is the change of character. Some people also name it there. Now let's talk about here. What's going on here? Initially, if we had a move straight from the highest high all the way breaking this structure here, creating a change of character, we would expect our demand zone or our order block, which is going to push the market down, to be around this point. That's what we would expect. Now, since there was this structure here, there was a flip in the market. Now there's a flip in the demand zone, and also there's a flip of the demand zone. Now instead of looking for the order block here, now we start looking for the order block around this area. We start looking for the order block around this area. Now our demand zone is no longer this part over here, it's now this part over here. This part over here is now our demand zone. So the same thing would also apply to a downtrend. Now let's say, for example, the market is in a downtrend, creating higher lows and lower lows. That's a lower low, a higher high, a higher low. That's a lower high, and then took out the lower low, creating another lower low, and then a lower high, a lower low, and then we see the market do something like this. We do something like this, and then it starts pushing up. Now this part over here, now this part over here, that is obviously our break of structure. That is our break of structure, and this one over here will be our change of character. Okay, so some people go ahead and label this here as a change of character. No, this is not a change of character, this is just a break of structure. So this is just a break of structure, and this break of structure led to the change of the demand zone. Okay, in this case it led to the change of the supply zone. So that's gonna be a break of structure, and then this over here we're gonna name it, it's gonna be our change of character. And then this over here, this was supposed to be our initial change of character. No, our initial this was supposed to be our initial demand zone. So expect our initial supply zone. So we expected the market to change the character and then come bounce off back to this point. So we expected the market to come and bounce off from this point. But since we had a flip here, this break of structure here created a flip. So since it created a flip, now this is now our change. This is now our interest point, the point of interest. Now I'm going to create a video. Just let me know in the comment section if you want me to create a video talking about all the point of interest. How do you know if the market is going to come retrace to this point, how do you know if the market is going to come back and retrace to this point? Because sometimes the market, you might think it's creating a flip here, and then you see the market push down. You see the market push down, and you think it's going to change here. You put your buy limit there, and then the market shoots down, coming all the way to this zone, and then start pushing up. Okay, so there are things that you should know. You should know what makes the market to turn at this level, what makes the market to turn at this level, not this level. But if on a normal, on a regular basis, we expect the market to do what? To come back into the flip. You expect the market to come back to the flip and then start shooting up, creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Now, normally in normal cases, for a flip to happen and for a flip to be respected, now let's say for a flip, for the market to respect this flip here and not come here, what I normally wait for is I check if this flip over here, the low of this flip, mitigated this supply zone. So normally it has to mitigate it, or because if it's not mitigated, then that flip will act as a liquidity, and when it acts as liquidity, now the market will shoot straight back into the main point of interest, and then start shooting up, and then this will be part of the liquidity. Now let's go to the charts and try to find the change of character and also the flip, and also see how we can apply it on our trading. So we have the charts over here. Okay, let me delete this. As you can see, guys, I was analyzing, took some trades over here. Okay, let me just a little bit, yeah, let's leave it like this. So here, as you can see, the market was creating this structure here of higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, and then it broke to the downside. It continued going to the downside, and then now here's where we would mark our change of character. So let's start here. We had we created a higher high, a higher low, also a higher high, higher low, a higher high. Okay, so let's mark those: a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, higher low, and then finally we created a higher high. And then when we came to the downside, we had a change of character, and then we continue to create now the lower highs, lower low, and then this here was a fake out. I think it happened during side. We had some news here, and then we continued going to the downside. As you can see, now we're in the downside. We're in the retracing stage. Now we are retracing to the upwards, and we expect the market to retrace to a point somewhere here and then continue going down. So where's our break of structure? Here is our break of structure. This is break of structures here. These are break of structures, because the market, these are break of structures. Break of structures give us a signal of what? Of a continuation, and a change of character gives us a signal of what? Of a reversal. So there we go, we have this here. We expect that to happen, so it's going to be a break of structure. Now, where is our change of character? Our change of character is right over here. Our change of character is right over here. Remember, guys, if you don't understand any of these things, or you're failing to understand, please go over the video a couple of times, and if you still fail to understand, then you can leave a comment in the comment section. Then I'll happily respond to your comment, see where I can help. So we had a change of character here, and then as you can see, when there's a change of character, we shoot to the upside. To which point do we go? Normally we try to mitigate the order block here, but okay, let's say we had an order block here. We had an order block here. Let's say we had an order block here. Now since we have an order block there, the market came down. Let's look at the internal structure. We had a lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, let me try to zoom in. Lower low. Okay, so that's what we had there. And what did the market do after creating the lower low, the lower high, the lower low? The market did not retrace back to the original supply zone. Didn't go back to the original actually didn't go back to the original demand zone. It now, because it created an internal structure of lower lows and lower highs, it went back to what it created. This now, this part here would be our interest. This part here would have been our interest. And now since that part is our interest, we would have taken a sell immediately when it gets here. So this was supposed to be our sell. That will be our entry. Stop loss somewhere here. Remember to give stop loss some space, and then the take profit would have been, just expect it to take out the low, and then after taking out the low, you have to check on this side. As you can see here, we had a break of structure this side, so my target would have been here. This would have been my target. That would have been my target. So that's where you would have taken yourself. So now we just covered what? A supply. I just showed you a change of character, and also a supply or a demand flip. We had a flip here. This was supposed to be our initial point of interest, but it created a lower low and then a lower high and then a lower low. And if you check, this here was not mitigated enough, so that was our point of interest, and then came back, pulled to the down. We would have taken a nice sell here. Let me just zoom out and see more structure. Let's just zoom out and see what has been happening. So as you can see here, we've been the market was on a downtrend because break of structure, and then this became our change of character. As you can see, the market did have a change of character. Now since it did have a change of character, the market retraced back to this zone and it started pushing up. But now remember, I said sometimes the market will create something that looks like a flip. Okay, what's going on? The market will create something that looks like a flip, and then after creating the flip, then the flip will be okay. For this part here pushing that, to the upside, we can't consider it as a flip because it didn't break structure. It must break structure first, and then the market must come back to the flip zone, or it must go to the point of interest. So we had the market go push back here and then tried going up and then started going down, and then this here over here, this is where we're gonna look for our this here is where we were going to look for our zone. This is where we're going to look for our point of interest. Look what the market did. It came, it tapped in on the first time. I wouldn't have entered on the first time because I would have waited for what? For a change of character. As you can see, we had a mini downtrend, and then this signifies a change of character here, and then continue pushing up after that change of character. Now remember guys, if we have a change of character, we expect to go to the point of interest or the flip zone, our initial point of interest or the flip zone. But for the flip zone to be respected, it must not be mitigated. So as you can see here, we came to the downside and then we passed our flip zone, because the flip zone must mitigate the initial point of interest. So the flip zone did not mitigate this part here, then the market came and mitigated it, and then we started rallying up. That's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to help this channel grow.